Oh, from Southern Ontario, Canada. I thought I'd share this kind of amusing story with you. See if I can stop that from flashing. If you're new to the channel, you can go to playlists if you want some diversionary and often humorous videos, my story time lists. But anyways, this is a story time, although it's a real story. I'd mentioned in a recent video at the local watering hole on the way home from work, I'd locked verbal horns with a liberal. Well, he thinks he's a liberal. He hadn't fared well in our debate, and I ended up getting bought a few too many beers. Anyways, so Sunday I go to the bar after work, so that's about 4:30 for me when I get there. And there's a table of, locals, regulars, whatever. And one of the individuals there is Mikey, the gentleman I'd locked horns with, verbal sparring. And a guy I'll just refer to as the big guy, because he's a big man. And he has a deep timbre to his voice, but he's usually quite soft-spoken. So I'm sitting there, as I do, taking my notes off of the news, maybe posting stuff, doing whatever I'm doing, my homework, as I call it. One ear on the children in the bar, so to speak. I hear the big fella's voice pick up a little. He says, you're not a liberal anymore, Mikey. And I look over, and the big fella shoots me a wink out of the side, and a bit of a grin out of the side of his eye, So I tune in with both ears, and he's saying to Mikey, he says, you think you're a liberal, but you're not, because the Liberal Party isn't the Liberal anymore. It's the party of Trudeau. And Mikey starts to argue, well, I've always been a liberal, and I'll always be a liberal. The Conservatives are terrible. And the big guy's going, no, Mikey. Look, you're stuck in the past. A couple of decades now. Liberals aren't liberals as you think of them, as you think of yourself as a liberal. You're voting for a minion who's controlled by the WEF. And the rest of the table leaps in, and they're like, yeah, blah, blah, and blah, blah. And, you can imagine the rest, right? And Mikey's sitting there shrinking down, looking like a pea on the chair, He's like, yeah, he can't defend himself because everybody has a point that is valid, whatever that point may be. I'm sort of ad-libbing to some extent here as to how the conversation was going. So what the heck does Santa Claus have to do with it, as per the title? Well, watching Mikey sit on his chair reminded me of grade 4. There was a kid in our class, Murray, and the boys' washroom was also like the coat rack room. It was this old stone school. First you went into like the coat room. It was a big room, and then in the back was the boys' room. So at recess or lunch or something, it was probably winter. We're in there taking our jackets off. Well, yeah, it was winter. That's when Christmas is. Sorry. What am I thinking? Anyways, Murray was the last boy in grade 4 to think that Santa Claus was still real. And of course, we're all like, no, and we're explaining how we just, whatever each personal discovery was, that Santa Claus wasn't real. For me, it was all the little tangerine oranges. But anyways, that doesn't matter. We're all like, hey, don't let on to your parents, Santa's not real. You'll start getting socks and underwear instead of Tonka toy trucks. But anyways, we're all like, no, Murray, Santa's not real. And we all relate why we know Santa's not real. And poor Murray sitting there, looking like a pea on the chair, like Mikey did, looking like a pea on the chair in the bar. I can't feel sorry for Mikey, but you almost could. He's the poor old fella. He is an old fella. All abject and sitting there. I mean, his whole political premises has been kicked out from under him, He left the bar. He's got to walk past me. And since we'd sparred, Mikey and I, and he'd not fared well, the only thing he said to me in passing is, hello, sir. And he doesn't want to talk to me. That's fine. I'm not going to badger the poor fella anymore. He walks by and he shoots me a look, and all I could think of was Murray sitting on the bench in grade 4 when he realized Santa Santa wasn't real. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the story. I thought I'd share it with you. I found it quite humorous.